Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Listen, I'm really glad to have you guys here. Now, today is January 29th. It's a Wednesday, and welcome here. Anyway, let's get started. I want to talk about something very specifically. Picture a person who's walking home from the grocery store. They got two big bags full of groceries in their arms, and as they're walking along, they don't realize it, but there's little tears in the bags or whatever. All of a sudden it happens. Both grocery bags break at the same time. All the groceries spill onto the ground. Your jam smashes all over the ground, the glass all over the place. Your eggs, that's it for the eggs. An awful lot of other things bust and stuff. And there's a few things that haven't busted. Maybe there's a few bananas laying there. They're bruised even. It's a total disaster. It happens fast. You don't see it coming, Well, picture one grocery bag is the virus, and the other grocery bag is the global markets and the global economic system. Okay? This is not going to be a long, drawn-out process like what happened in Japan, where they had the lost decade. This is going to be quick, sudden, and you're going to be amazed at the resilience of mankind during crisis. How they can respond and how they can bounce back from a crisis, especially a particular bag crisis, rather quickly. I'm predicting this whole thing is going to sort itself out in the next 24 months. And we're going to be, just like if your grocery bags break and everything falls over, it's a disaster. But it's something that you're going to fix it. I mean, you're going to go over and get a new grocery bag, and you're going to put all the stuff that didn't break into the new grocery bag, and you're going to make sure it doesn't have a crack in the bottom of it. You might use a double bag this time because you learned your lesson, and you're gonna save what you can save, and the stuff that's no good, that's busted to pieces like the eggs, are going to go into the trash bin, and everything's going to get sorted. And that's the way with this. It's all going to get sorted. It's going to get sorted rather quickly. Now, you get a disaster that's a slow disaster like the Japan economy, and it lasts and it drags out for decades. That's not the way this is going to work. Now, the stock market in the West right now is in la-la land. But the stock market in Asia is not. Let's get started. Let's take a look. Let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. Here's Asian stock markets. Let's focus in on it with our camera, and we're going to take a look at this. The Asian stock markets are starting to respond to the crisis at hand. And what we see is the Shanghai Composite has dropped 2.75%, and the Hang Seng is dropped 2.82%. But look at the West. Look at the Western stock markets. They're all up today. It's unreal. They're in la-la land. Okay, let's open up the charts more, and let's take a look now at silver price today and see what we're seeing here. Let me pull the chart up a little bit. I got to change the size of it just a little bit. $17.43 for silver today. And this right now is in la-la land too. This is an inverse bubble. It's being pushed down even more. And I'm telling you, silver is probably the most underpriced asset in the world right now. This is unbelievable. The fact that we fell back from 1820 to 1743. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's just as unbelievable as what's going on in the stock market right now. Let's take a look at gold. This is unbelievable that the price is $15.68. Gold is up $2, but still, I mean, 1,500 on the star of the name of gold. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous, these prices. I'm talking about cheap, not high. I'm talking about cheap. It's ridiculously cheap, you know, comparatively speaking. Cryptocurrency has been catching a bid. And it's been catching a bid for the last few days. It's 255.6 billion, 66.3% Bitcoin dominance, and we're looking at a Bitcoin price of 93.23. It's heading back up toward $10,000 per Bitcoin, and it's heading back up there rather quickly. We're seeing an increase in the price of Bitcoin of 2.81%. Ethereum's at $176. XRP is at 23.7 cents. Bitcoin Cash is at $385. Bitcoin SV is $289. Not Tether, but Litecoin is $60.59. EOS is $4.04. Binance Coin is 1807. Cardano is 5.5 cents. Ethereum Classic is $12.39. Tron is 18 cents. Looks like what? 18 cents? Stellar is 6 cents. Monero is $69. And we'll finish off with Dash at 117.27. Anyway, let's move on with it, and let's take a look at these markets today. They're up 169 points. This is La La Land. They're in fantasy. They're in a fantasy world right now. And what's the situation that's going on in the world? This is why I have put up an alert on the stock markets of the West. All the markets. A watch, like a tornado watch. This is a watch for the markets, for a precipitous fall in the markets. They might not even get much of a dead cat bounce. I'm going to tell you, honest to goodness, I think these markets are going to roll over, and going to roll over hard in probably within the next 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. And it's all got to do with what's going on in the East with the virus. It basically shuts down economic activity. I mean, it shuts it down wherever the virus expands to. And right now it's quite heavily infected in the East, and so it's going to shut down the East. But if you shut down the East, take, for instance, the Chinese economy. Of the world economy, it represented about 4% of the world just back in the early 2000s. Now, a few years later, it represents like 15% of the world. It's moved up like 4 times bigger than it was, the Chinese economy, and it represents that much more of the global GDP, And so if it goes down, it's going to carry the rest of the world down with it, and big time, not small, big time. Let's take a look now at the U.S. dollar index. These are huge problems, huge systemic problems. This is huge, and it's not going to go away. And the markets are going to come to a realization at a certain point. It's going to start to really dawn on them what's really happening. That's why I say that right now they're in fantasy world, from Fed stimulus and everything that's happened up till now has led them to believe that they're in a new paradigm and nothing can ever happen. It's going to be a sudden dawning. It's going to be like the guy carrying his groceries home. He's thinking about making spaghetti, And he hears a rip sound. It happens so fast, He didn't see it coming. And that's the way this is going to be. It's going to happen really fast. But we see it coming here. U.S. Treasuries today. We see the yield starting to fall. We're going to see more of this as they rush into Treasuries. It's not going to be pretty. Okay. The U.S. dollar index, 98.17. We see a rising dollar. We see strength in the dollar. They're looking at the dollar also as a safe haven. They want to be in dollars. Some of the earlier people. We're looking at 98.17, but it's being compared against the euro. This is what's going on. Peter Schiff, he says gold would explode with a Bernie Sanders presidency. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you guys what. It doesn't matter who's in the White Office. The policy's basically going to be the same. It's going to be a similar policy. And gold is going to explode because no matter who's in the White House, it's going to be an accommodative monetary policy to try to get through this situation that's coming in the next 24 months. And it's going to be massively accommodative. And it doesn't matter who's in. It's going to be massively accommodative. And this is going to see gold prices exploding. And silver is going to double explode. If gold's going to go up, silver's going to do double. It's going to double it. And they're both going to go up. They're going to go up massively. And this is what's coming. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.